Welcome to this video introducing ArcGIS Pro. This is software from Esri that you will use for most of your map authoring, editing, analysis, and web publishing. You've heard the expression, "can't see the forest for the trees." The idea is that it's good to have a feel for the total landscape of a forest to find your way about, and it's hard to get by studying individual trees up close. That's what this video will help you avoid. Before jumping into the detailed tutorials on ArcGIS Pro, the trees, you'll get a feel for the forest, the overall structure of Pro. We'll start by looking at a map in ArcGIS Pro with some of the layers from the GIS of Chapter 1. The two main subject areas are the next two topics, the tab ribbon interface of ArcGIS Pro, and that ArcGIS Pro works with a container of folders called projects. The rest of the topics drill down into the interface and explore some of the major components of an ArcGIS project. An ArcGIS Pro map. ArcGIS Pro is open on my computer screen and I'm logged into my Esri account. You'll create your own account and that will give you access to server space to publish your maps on the web. Displayed in the main panel is the map, Healthcare Clinics, with just a few of the several layers available displayed. The study area is Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, which has the city of Pittsburgh in its center. The subject or theme of the map is healthcare clinics and shown as one kind of clinic, federally qualified health centers, which are federally subsidized to make healthcare affordable to the poor. The white and black shaded areas are census tracts showing population density, persons per square mile. The darker the shading, the higher the population density. So far, you can see that federally qualified health centers tend to be in some of the densely populated areas of Pittsburgh, where you may guess that the poor populations reside. The tabbed ribbon interface. Let's start by exploring the tabbed ribbon, which is the standard Windows interface. We'll look at most of the tabs one at a time. ArcGIS Pro starts with the Map tab and the Explore tool selected. I'll demonstrate this tool later after we look at the Project tab next. ArcGIS Projects. Let's look at the Project tab. Work in ArcGIS Pro is arranged in projects, folders that can have one or more maps and many other kinds of supporting data and files. The project pane is open and docked on my computer, and you can see standard project components, maps, toolboxes, databases, and so forth. We'll come back to this pane later. Let's click and look at the Project tab. Here's where you can create a new project, open an existing project, save projects, and review and change options. When you create a new project, ArcGIS Pro builds several GIS component shells for you, places to store your project files. You can see them in the project pane. A little later in this demo, I'll discuss and use some of them. Let's take a look at the Portals link. The Portals page shows you which web portals you have available for publishing your maps online. You'll have your own website on Esri's ArcGIS.com web portal. The Options link is where you can view or change many options for a project. Under Project, Current shows various folder locations and allows you to change some of them. If you click Units, you can change the distance units as well as other units that you can read out from your map. If you click Distance Units, you can see the default is that distances and map coordinates are in feet. If you click Selection, you can see that the selection color for highlighted map features and attribute tables can be changed here. I'm going to cancel this, and then I'm going to click the back arrow to leave the Project tab. The Map tab. Let's take a brief look at the Map tab. Here are tools for map navigation, adding map layers to a map, selecting features, inquiry commands, and labeling. After using any other tool, it's a good idea to select Explore so that you do not inadvertently make changes. The Explore cursor is the hand or the panning tool. So if you take that and you move your map around, you're panning the map features. You can also use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in. So if you zoom in here, you'll see that you're zooming in or zooming out of your map features depending on which way you use that scroll. So I'm going to zoom in here around the center of the city of Pittsburgh. I'm going to wait just a minute while it redraws my features. And you'll see that if you zoom in far enough, you'll eventually turn labeling on. So if you wanted to see the label for the street names, depending on your map threshold, you can zoom in and see those. You'll also see that your map features include pop-ups. So if you click on one of the features, a pop-up will appear and it'll tell you information. So for instance, I just picked the Hill House Health Center and I saw its address. If you want to close that, you can just click the X in the upper right-hand corner. When zoomed in far enough, you can also use Imagery Base Map. In order to see the imagery a little more closely, I've zoomed in a little more, and from the Map tab, Layer, I'll choose Base Map. For this base map, I'm just going to choose the light gray canvas. It takes just a few minutes to redraw, but once it does, you can see that imagery underneath your map. Insert, Analysis, and Share tabs. Let's start with the Insert tab. Here, you can create a new map, like the healthcare clinics, create a new layout, as well as other GIS components. Let's click on Analysis. For example, here you can use Model Builder to automate a workflow of several GIS steps. You also have the frequently used analysis tools. And you see if you click here, you can see all of the analysis tools listed. If you click on Share, because you are logged in, you can easily publish your map to your ArcGIS online website. The View tab. When you click the View tab, you'll see that the project pane is already open and docked to the right side of the map. Here is where it was originally opened. The project pane provides access to all project components. This project has 2 maps and 1 layout so far. If you click where it says Maps, you'll see the 2 maps for Healthcare Clinics and Healthcare Clinics 3D. We'll take a look at that one in a moment. If you click where it says Layouts, you see that the layout for the federally qualified healthcare clinics and MedExpress clinics is available here. Let's open the layout. You'll notice that when you open the layout, ArcGIS Pro adds a new tab for the layout in the main display area, and that the corresponding map is still available in its tab. Furthermore, notice that a hidden context tab on the ribbon is exposed and selected, making us ready to work on the layout. A layout is a map with map surrounds added, the title, legend, graphic map, scale in this case. So a layout is a standalone document suitable for a report or presentation. You can export it as an image file. Let's take a better look at the map layout by changing the zoom. You'll see in the lower left-hand corner, right now it's zoomed to about 47%. I'm going to increase that to about 60% so I can see the layout better. Let's take a look now at the 3D map. If you scroll over to the project pane, you can double-click where it says Healthcare Clinics 3D, and this will open that second map. So you see I have 3 things here. I have Healthcare Clinics 2D, I have my layout for the Federal Qualified Healthcare Clinics and MedExpress clinics, and then my 3D map. If you want to take a look at the map in 3D, you can use the scroll button and click, and wherever you first pick, you're navigating the map from that location. So I'm going to scroll this map and take a look at it in 3D. You can see that the extruded features here are the population density. It clearly communicates the enormous variations that the population density has in Allegheny County. So if you want to see this map from different areas, you can simply use the mouse and the scroll bar to scroll around Allegheny County. Let's go ahead and close that, and also close the layout. Okay, we're finished with the ribbon tabs for now. Next, we'll look at the map layers in more detail. The Contents pane. If you wish to turn on the Contents pane, you can go to the View tab and click Contents. This was otherwise known as the Table of Contents. The Contents tab provides access to all layers available in the project and the ability to do much with each layer. You can take that Contents pane and move it around on the screen to a new location, and you can even take it and move it below the project pane and dock it there. I'm going to take it though and go back to the left side of my window, and I'm going to double click it to dock it here. Let's turn on the FQHC, or Federally Qualified Healthcare Clinic buffer. These are 1-mile radius buffers around all federally qualified healthcare clinics. They give us an idea of what areas have easy geographic access to the FQHCs. I'm going to take a look at that in a little bit more detail by zooming in. You'll notice that these buffers are semi-transparent, and we can see the population underneath them because they are semi-transparent. Let's also turn on poverty risk areas. These are areas that have high proportions of poor populations. You can see that the federally qualified healthcare clinics seem to be well located to cover the poor populations. Symbolization. In this example, I'm going to change the symbol for the federally qualified healthcare clinics. I've gone ahead and turned off the FQHC buffer and the poverty risk area so I can see these a little better. To change a symbol, you can simply right-click on the layer in the table of contents and choose Symbology. A Symbology window will appear, and you can click where it says Current Symbol. You'll see that you have a variety of symbols that are available from ArcGIS. So these are some of the 2D symbols. Let's say that you want to change the symbol to a different circle or even a different shape. You can do so here. I'm going to go ahead and click Square 5. So I'll double click that, and you'll see that my symbols will change on the map. If you're happy with that Symbology change, you can go ahead and simply close the Symbology window. Attribute Table. Contents also gives you access to a layer's attribute table. So for instance, if I right-click on FQHC in the Contents pane and choose Attribute Table, this will open the layer's attribute table and dock it right below the map. In this example, there are only a few attributes, name and address. Notice that ArcGIS Pro has also added the Table tab to the ribbon, and these are all of the functions that are related to a table. It's easy to sort the table. I'm going to right-click on the field that I want to sort. In my case, I want to sort by the name of the FQHC, so I'll right-click that and choose Sort Ascending. It'll now sort by the name of the clinics. If you want to, you can select and it'll show the clinic. So it'll show the clinic not only in the attribute table, but also on the map. In this case, I've chosen the Hill House Health Center. You can clear that selection just by going to the tab here and choosing Clear Selection. Okay, that's a look at your forest for now. As a summary, the key points are: ArcGIS Pro uses the familiar Windows interface, the tabbed ribbon. When you switch to a different kind of GIS object, like a map layout or an attribute table, A tab automatically appears for that object with tools for it. ArcGIS Pro works with projects. A project is a folder, a container, with all of the GIS files needed to build, visualize, and analyze maps. An exception is the geospatial data, such as inputs, which can come from anywhere, including the project folder, but other locations as well, including your computer's hard drive, a local area network, and the internet. Like base maps, many inputs will come from arcgis.com, including your own map layers that you store there. Next, you need to do the tutorials of Chapter 1, where you will go into more detail and you will get a good start, a close-up view, and a look at the trees of ArcGIS Pro.